In just 8 minutes, uncover 10 powerful takeaways from Stephan, and Selby's talk with Dave Ramsey on why this is the best time to get rich, his real estate secrets, the trap of long-term renting, and the shocking truth about Social Security and national debt. Takeaway 1. Why this is the best time to get rich. Dave Ramsey told Stephan and Selby that right now is the best time in the history of the world to build wealth if you are willing to act. He explained that technology has removed the biggest barriers that used to stop people from starting a business or making money. In the past, you needed physical stores, expensive equipment, and big marketing budgets. Now you can start an online store in a day, use tools like Shopify, and even get artificial intelligence to create websites and product descriptions without knowing how to code. He believes this gives people an abundance mentality because anything feels possible when you can launch an idea so quickly. Dave warned that people miss out when they sit and do nothing while living in the easiest time ever to start. For example, someone who loves baking could set up an online ordering system for custom cakes in one weekend and start selling without renting a shop or hiring staff, something that was almost impossible 30 years ago. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 2, how Dave Ramsey invests in real estate. Dave shared that he recently put an offer on a large commercial property right on the edge of a growing area. Normally, he buys properties at less than 70% of their appraised value. But in this case, he paid more because the location has huge long-term potential. He looks for returns of 12 to 14% cash on cash and an internal rate of return in the 20s once a project is complete. Dave reminded everyone that real estate is not passive, no matter what others say. There is work involved in finding deals, improving properties, and managing tenants. For example, buying an apartment building with low occupancy and fixing management problems could turn it into a profitable investment. But that requires effort, not just collecting rent checks. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 3. Commercial real estate offers unique opportunities. Dave and the host discussed how commercial real estate often has less emotional competition than residential. In commercial, you are competing with other investors who focus only on numbers, not with families who picture themselves living there. Short-term commercial loans are a big factor because when they come due, many owners have to refinance at higher rates. This can push them to sell quickly at lower prices, which is a chance for buyers with cash to make good deals. For example, an office building with high vacancy after a shift to remote work could be bought cheaply, then converted into apartments or storage units for a solid profit. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 4, a consistent financial plan works in all markets. Dave explained that his basic financial principles work whether the economy is booming or in a downturn. This means avoiding debt, saving a portion of your income, and living on less than you make. He does not believe in changing your core financial habits every time the market shifts. People with skills and growing incomes can outpace the rising costs of housing and other expenses. For example, someone who learns a high-demand skill like cybersecurity can quickly increase their income to match or exceed rising living costs, making it easier to stick to a wealth-building plan even during difficult times. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 5, renting can be smart, but only short-term. When asked about renting versus buying during high interest rates and home prices, Dave said that owning a home is almost always better over the long term. However, buying a home you cannot afford will hurt you, so it can make sense to rent for a year or two while you get your finances in order. Housing costs tend to rise over decades, so people who pay off their mortgages have a major advantage in retirement. For example, in some parts of Los Angeles, you might rent a property for $2,000 that would cost $4,000 to own when you include taxes and insurance. But Dave warns this is a short-term situation and not a lifelong strategy. We're halfway through the video. Thanks for sticking with us. If you're enjoying it, hit the thumbs up and share it in your WhatsApp groups. If you'd like to support us, please tap the thanks button below. It helps us keep making great content. Drop a comment and don't forget to hit subscribe for more. Now let's continue with the video. Takeaway 6, why Dave Ramsey doubts economic predictions. Dave admitted that both he and others are often wrong when predicting the economy or politics. He hopes certain policies like lower taxes, more domestic energy production, and lower interest rates will boost growth. but unexpected events can stop progress. He used the example of tariffs under Trump, which caused many business owners to pause projects even when the tariffs did not affect them directly. This slowdown happened simply because people were waiting to see what would happen, which hurt the economy more than the tariffs themselves. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 7. Why the national debt baffles Dave Ramsey. Dave has been against debt for decades and expected the massive U.S. national debt to cause a collapse long ago, yet it has not happened. Experts like Art Laffer have tried to explain why, but Dave says he still does not fully understand it. Inflation has not followed debt growth except during rare events like post-COVID. He still believes the spending is reckless and that the budget could be balanced by cutting unnecessary programs, though politics makes that nearly impossible. For example, he compared it to how people protested when Elon Musk cut what he saw as wasteful spending, showing how strongly people resist losing benefits, even if they are foolish. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 8. Why Social Security is a bad deal. Dave argued that Social Security gives a poor return compared to what workers could earn if they invested the same money themselves. He supports having a safety net for those who cannot work, but says the program was never designed to be the main retirement plan. He said that if people could opt out and invest the same amount at just 2% interest, they would end up with more than the government will ever pay them. For example, a worker putting their contributions into a safe certificate of deposit over decades would still have more money than they will receive from Social Security checks. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 9. Hard work builds dignity and breaks laziness. When asked about people who do not want to work, Dave said avoiding effort is not good for anyone because it robs them of pride, purpose, and mental health benefits. Letting people face the natural results of inaction can push them to change. Hunger or lack of money can be a strong motivator to get off the couch. For example, someone who spends all day playing video games might finally start looking for work if they cannot pay their bills and have to skip meals. Now let's move to the last takeaway. Takeaway 10. Enjoy wealth, but protect your legacy. At age 64, Dave and his wife follow a "why wouldn't I" mindset for experiences and purchases that enrich their lives, as long as they do not damage the wealth they plan to pass on. Spending should be small enough compared to your net worth that losing the money would not affect your lifestyle. For example, Dave encouraged his wife to get professionally fitted for high-quality golf clubs because it was a small cost in their overall wealth, and she had supported him for more than 40 years, making it a well-deserved reward. Here is a brief introduction about Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey is a personal finance expert, radio host, and author known for his no-debt philosophy and straightforward advice. He has helped millions through his books, courses, and The Ramsey Show, focusing on building wealth through discipline and common sense. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support this channel, hit the thanks button below. It really helps us keep going. If you enjoyed this summary, please leave a like and share it in your WhatsApp groups. To join discussion about this video, drop a comment below. And for more videos like this, hit the subscribe button below.